Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into a Good Friday live stream. So hopefully all of you guys are ready and amped up because today is Good Friday and we are going to be working on fine-tuning Bill's posting model. So hopefully you guys are excited just like I am. I can feel the echo in the room, so I apologize if you guys can also hear it, but without further ado, the markets are closed today. Now that is of course traditional markets. So the stock market's closed in honor of Good Friday. Bitcoin never closes, crypto never sleeps. And so you can see that, price is moving. I don't know what else you want me to say from that. It is a slightly down day today. Not a ton of volume, not a ton of movement, just because again, the rest of the people are not paying attention to the financial markets today. So with that, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Friday so far. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Steve the Canadian. Good morning, Dr. Crypto. How's it going, Solus? Welcome, welcome. Anyone who is watching this after the live stream, I go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, to talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto markets. Today, we are going to be working on Agent Bill. So for those of you who do not know, I have an AI agent, Bill, the DeSci guy, and he keeps everyone up to date on decentralized science. Every Friday from now on, we will be continuing to improve and work upon Bill as a community. And so this being the second weekly live stream of working on Bill, we're going to fine tune his posting model, or at least I'm going to show you the process of gathering things in order to fine tune his posting model, because I doubt we will have enough time to actually fine tune it. Of course, I'm going to need everyone's help because this is where we find his personality and this is where we improve upon how he conducts himself online. So first thing that I like to do whenever I'm trying to fine tune or enhance or just improve upon these models is to go through and see what are his most well-performing posts to date, right? Because obviously we're going to want more of those, right? And that is kind of the beginning foundation of it. Anytime you're doing content, you want to go through periodically and see what content does the best and try and do more of that content. So you can see right here, 2 hours ago, he posted and got 4 likes, a good GM, you glorious chain slinging citation crushers. It's Friday. Your cells are vibing, your protocols are popping, and your lab rat just minted an NFT. Didn't really get too much engagement, but it just posted not too long ago. Whereas the repost, the quote tweet from Axon DAO 12 hours ago, that did get a lot of engagement. So that got almost 500 views, 18 likes. So what I'm going to do for us right now is copy the link to this post, and I'm going to give it as one of the examples here for us to pay attention to and look at. Does that make sense, everyone? So just quickly, I'll go through, kind of pull out some of the best performing posts, but then the second stage to this is that I want to go through other people's posts across social media to find what kind of model, what kind of post performs the best. And so where I need your guys' help is to also go through and ideate different accounts that you guys follow who you really appreciate the post formatting, right? The style, the personality, the post itself. Posts that generally do good, that you appreciate and that you share. Does that make sense? You look like a scientist who designed Bill in a lab. Let's go, Solus. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get those likes in ahead of time. Yeah, you're damn right, Solus. Everyone liked the live stream. This should be one of the first positive weekends we've seen in a while. A lot of pressure is on vacation. True that. A lot of people not paying attention to the markets. They got to go hang out with their families for Easter weekend. So we'll see what happens afterwards. Another post 20 hours ago, a repost on Genome's post. Only got 4 likes, so we'll skip past it. This is just simply a repost, so we'll skip past that. Poseidon DAO just flipped the switch. Also got very limited engagement, so we will skip past that one. We'll keep going. 4, 6. 6 is okay, but the joke was kind of soft. Not gonna lie, Bill. Not gonna lie, the joke was kind of soft. A repost. So this one from Genome's was something that did fairly well compared to the rest of his posts. So it got 15 likes. I am curious who all... Oh, if I repost it, view quotes. Did Genome repost it? Health Sci did. Okay, that makes sense. But this post in and of itself did good, so we will go ahead and post it there. We're just building out a list really quick, and then from there, we'll start reverse engineering a prompt, okay? And that will make more sense in a minute once we get some of these posts, because what we're gonna do is figure out what kind of prompt given to the agent or given to an LLM would have created that type of a post. And then once we do that, we'll do it for each and every post, and that is the training data that we will get. We keep scrolling. Oh, my post, let's go. 27 likes. This poll got 10 votes, 5 likes, so not the worst, but also not one of his better posts. This, again, another post that did really well. So it appears right now, at least these 3 posts have been quote tweets. So Bill's quote tweets have been doing the best. This one, Happy Friday, DeSci fam. Apparently people love a good Friday post. Yeah, I got 13 likes. So we'll come over here. We'll post it in. I'm just looking for 5 of his best posts in the last couple of days. This one was pretty good. 8 likes. I'm gonna keep going. I want double digits. Oh, here we go. Okay, now we're getting into the meat of stuff. Just added Bill. Let's go, Solus. Let's go. Now we're getting into the meat of things, right? Because this is a post that Bill did, which was one of his own. It was not a quote tweet of somebody else's. So we like that. I want to see some of those, because while the quote tweets are good, he can't just be a quote tweet account. He needs to be creative on his own, right? So I have 4 quote tweets and now one of his originals. I want to go look for others that are his original, not quotes, that have done good. So we'll keep scrolling. Not too bad of a post. Quote tweet, quote tweet. We've really been doing a lot of quote tweets. Which does make sense, not gonna lie, because he is supposed to be a news type account. It would make a lot of sense for him to do a lot of quote tweeting, because he's just trying to share the news and spread the good word. But you just saw this one. This was another post that did well. That was not a quote tweet. And then let me find one more. Oh, I gotta hit that like, just like you guys should. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talking about decentralized science. On Fridays, we build Bill. Hell yeah. Why you should be giga bullish on DeSci. So this post did fairly well. It is a nice little thread here, and it got some good engagement. So let's go ahead and take this. It is also a different type of post. It is a thread, and so we got that. Now I do again want to go through posts that are not his now, okay? Now I want to go through people's posts on X that have done really well that we can kind of model after, because if you've noticed, a lot of his posts were single digit likes. So we need to boost up that engagement by finding other posts that do really well. Now, let me go ahead and label this. And do any of you guys know any accounts that have posts that usually do well that you like the formatting of? Anyone off the top of your head, feel free, put it in the chat, please, for the love of God. Why would some Bill edits made? Would you like some Bill edits made synced with music to get him trending on TikTok, IG, etc.? I have a contact who can do that. Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful. Right now, I don't think it's necessarily worth it because I'm still trying to get the MVP out of everything, right? He's out and he's doing stuff, but I'm trying to push those enhancements. So right now, probably not, but it might be beneficial to get it going soon. I do also just want him to be making the posts, so it is a little bit of a wishy-washy subject or area, right? Because ultimately we want him making his own content. What was this? Oh yeah, model posts. So one person, for example, that comes to mind for me. Oh, Beagle, thank you Beagle. Except I don't really post enough, you know, to get those. I have noticed 2 things. One, when I'm on my For You page, basically everything that I see do well has images. That's a little representative of your own shortcomings. Altcoin Daily, your entire net worth is in Cardano is a little bit sus, but it is funny nonetheless. But most of the, I'm kind of curious. Oh my God. Most of the posts that I see on X are containing media of some sort. And so without Agent Bill creating good media, it's not going to be super conducive. Does that make sense? What is that? That's crazy. Those are cool clocks. You see, this is just to me to point out that most people create posts with media, but this is one. Mark Heyman, a heart attack at 50 began at 20. Alzheimer's at 70 started at 40. The loss of independence at 80 began at 30. The aging you want tomorrow begins with the choices you make today. I think that's a good post, but I don't know that Bill is going to be super, let's put it, I kind of like that. I like that model, right? I like that model. I can teach him if he'd be open to private tuition. Potentially. I like this type of a post, right? I like this type of a post. I think it's going to be difficult to get screenshots of, like, I don't know that Bill would be able to go get a screenshot from CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. I don't think that's something he could do, so we can't do that. This is sus. This is very uncomfortable. I'm going to like it, though, because it's kind of funny. Yeah, that's crazy. But one account that I think is really good. It's not in the DeSci niche, but AIXBT. This guy, this agent, his posts are short and gain a lot of traction. Sol hits 220 by June once Mesa drops inflation to 1.5%. So little opinionated pieces, but short one-off posts that are informative, right? So let's go through and find some of his top performing posts and see them. So this one, kind of a price prediction. Not sure that I want Bill making price predictions. Arb stack eating up all the 10-pound flowers. Other L2s can close shop now. What? Or 10B flow. What the hell? Flows. Arb stack eating up all the 10B flows. Other L2s can close shop now. So very opinionated. Get those communities going. Trump and Fartcoin holders getting slaughtered tomorrow when insider wallets dump 336 million worth on exit. Sus. So posting about coins does really well. Damn. Why is he so mean? So little one-off things. So okay, so see this? You see this? This is news, right? This is a stat that he gave, okay? That's something that Bill could get. It is a stat. Bitcoin at 84K got 90% of addies in profit. BlackRock threw another 30 million in at today's already dropped 75 million in the last 48 hours. Someone yanked a bunch of Bitcoin off exchanges into cold storage. Blah, 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 blah. You get it? Good. We'll copy that link. Put it in here as an example post. I'm looking for posts that have more than 200. Trump team pulled 4.6 million USDC liquidity and bridged to ETH before sending to Coinbase. So this is a lot of on-chain data, but that is in his niche, right? It is, if you look at the foundation of what that is, it is another post with some news, some information in the niche that he is. Now he's agnostic to just DeSci, to crypto, talks a lot about some of the trending altcoins and everything. So I imagine what he's got going on is a social sentiment tracker with some on-chain data. And so Bill has the ability to track the social sentiment and keep an eye on everything that's going on. And then you go look for when projects are spiking and create some sort of trigger to get him to post about those and explain a little bit as to why it might be spiking, right? That's the foundation there. You break that down into its foundational parts, and that's what it is. And so you keep looking. Sui brings real Bitcoin stacking with wrappers, native securely. native security. So just talking about functions of some of these projects. 800, China dumping Bitcoin is a signal they bought the rest OTC and already held 2x more than reported. So I don't know that anyone could confirm that. I think I want to find one more post. A lot of them are one-liners too, where he tags someone. Let's go ahead and just grab this one. All right, anyone else have some accounts? Who else were you guys thinking about? I know you guys had thoughts come into your head. I could do mine. I could go do my profile. Where's my profile? But truthfully, I've not grown followers in a little bit of time here. Mostly just because I haven't really been posting much of anything. You know what's funny? The representative, Representative Barnaby follows me. Isn't that kind of funny? That's crazy. It's because I posted this photo with him, right? Or not that photo. Where is it? I posted this photo with him. And then it got reposted again by another person who was there. William. W. William. A lot of good people there. Lots of good people. Went to the event. Blockchain day at the Capitol. You know what else is funny? You know what else is funny? Give it a second. I might just have to Control-C this. Or Control-F. The representative also follows Agent Bill. Isn't that interesting? One of the House representatives in Florida follows Agent Bill. God. How about Benjel's posts? That'd be a good one. That's a good one, actually. Don't copy Lucas. I agree. I will not be copying Lucas for this. Perhaps you've seen my message in the Telegram group. I thought if you haven't, would you possibly be willing to check your DMs when you have time? Thank you. Hope I'm not disturbing by asking repeatedly. You are not disturbing by asking repeatedly. That is what I ask of you guys. If you need to get my attention on something, to come to the live stream and poke me a bunch. Just because right now I'm at a stage in building and in my entrepreneurial stuff that I don't pay attention to the DMs right now. I just can't. There's only limited time in each day, and I have to dedicate as much of that time as possible into Bill. So Benjels doesn't have a ton of followers, but it's a small niche, and he does post good content that gets high engagement. So you can only buy success with pain. Interesting. To disrupt something, join it, learn every flaw, escape before you get added to the monthly sync call. I think that was copy pasta. I believe I saw that from someone else too. Although I could have just remembered seeing that post. I like that. He said, I hope that everyone jumping into the space realizes that associating ourselves with memes is a meme, but not an end. Memes are powerful, but temporary. Science is forever. I agree with that. Florida buying soon, I heard. Imagine. in the stockpile, the digital asset stockpile reserve for Florida, Bill gets added. Bullish. That would send us. If you're going to lose our morals, let's slap some chesticles on Bill's page and be done. That's not the path, though. Ethics, not morals, yeah. Understand you completely. I'm the same way about our project, which is what we wish to discuss with you. To recruit you to join our team as our representative/advisor. Ooh, a job offer. Dun dun dun. I'm more than happy to read the message, Solus, and provide my opinion and feedback, but right now I am not on the market to help out with anyone anymore. I got my people that I'm working with, and then I'm doing my own company, my own work, right? So it takes up too much of my time, and I wouldn't be able to actually give you enough resources, i.e. my time and knowledge on stuff to make it worth it. But I'm more than happy to give some feedback. So a lot of Benjel's posts are also reposts. He also has a lot of photos and everything, and he tags tons of people. I respect that he asked where's Noble in this decentralized science landscape map. I'm gonna skip his, but I'm gonna go DeSci SHILLERS and see if there's any accounts that are really good posts in here. Aw, 7 minutes ago, Bill. W. A lot of the content is just reposts or images or events, right? Oh yeah, did you see this? They discovered potential life on another planet. So a planet that was like 3 times bigger than the Earth has a ton of water, and in the water they've picked up frequencies from molecules from compounds that only exist as a byproduct to life. So there's a good chance that this planet has life on it, right? Because it matches ours, right? The stuff in the water on our planet produces certain compounds, and those compounds are present on this planet, and they can only be made from living organisms. So it looks like they found proof of aliens on another planet. Little bacteria, probably microscopic organisms, but still they have to rule out every other possible explanation for it before they can confirm. But I think it makes a lot of sense. And it's also not that far away, 124 light years away, which is crazy to suggest that something that close in space has life on it, and it took us this long to figure it out. Now, I believe James Webb found it a long time ago, like a couple years ago. Maybe not a couple years. They've known for a while now. It's just finally starting to get enough proof to be able to make the claim. Always appreciate your honesty, of course. Do you happen to know someone who may perhaps be interested in such a role with us? We are the first and only protocol to commit to our mission. Bullish. I know, Dr. Crypto. That's a goddamn moment. I'll think about it, Solus. I'll think about it. And I'll respond to your DM after the live stream. I'll think about it. I'll get more context too. Chris has got some good posts here. He tends to do really well. He writes some good threads. Let's go see if Chris has got any good information. Again, media. They do well when it has media. So it really just is always going to be looking towards media, huh? Which is good, because he's got his image gen tool. Okay, cool. I think that's good enough. Bullish on new planet being named after America. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's get it. America. They named the new planet Planet USA. Okay. Does anyone have questions on this so far? Anyone think that they want to provide extra input here before we move to the next step, which is reverse engineering a prompt? Anyone at all? Or do you guys want to go look at the market and you don't care about this? If you don't care about this, that's fine too. We're just going to open the post from Bill first. I hate that that doesn't include the spacing or any of the emojis. Upgrade. Goblins. Equal AI. I will not be doing the spacing on that because that part doesn't actually matter, right? Also, probably worth noting to see the engagement that it already had, right, before he quote tweeted it. But that's something that I'll put in the instructions, right? Right now, we're just trying to get the prompt. So let's see what it says. Create an attention-grabbing tweet with about a new product called Cure Ring and Cure OS. The tweet should explain how the Web3 health wearable stack allows users to monetize their health data through tokens, AXJT, while maintaining privacy. Use a mix of tech enthusiasm, health benefits, and Web3 language. Make it sound revolutionary, but slightly tongue-in-cheek with Web3 slang like friends. The tone should be exciting, disruptive, and use short, punchy sentences for impact. Mention that it's a paradigm shift in how health data is managed. I don't want to mention specifics. But let's see what it does. Now we take it and we test it, right? So now we take this, we come to a new thing, and boom. Let's see what the AI does. So not the same, right? So it did not reverse engineer appropriately because that is not the same type of post that Bill created here, which means that the prompt has some tinkering to do. But you guys understand the method here, right? And so now we go back and we would tinker with the prompt in order to get a post that sounds like the one that Bill did. Now with Bill's posts, I could probably just go look through and actually see what the prompt was. And so I could just take that, but I'm saving these posts to go through and do that with them. Now when I was opening them up, I was thinking about how I could probably just go actually see the exact prompt and tell it to do more of those prompts. But as far as these four posts are more what we could fine tune for here on the live. Go away. It's a very long prompt. Make it more concise. No, I don't want the actual quote. But we can take this. We go like this. We come over here. We go like this. Create a brief, impactful quote from a fictional Bob. No. From a historical scientist, showing how major health conditions develop decades before symptoms appear. Use a parallel sentence structure. Blah, 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 blah. Bam. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, damn. That's not even true. Heart disease begins not with chest pain, but with the first fatty steak in childhood arteries. That's literally not even a true statement. Studying nutrition, we know that it's not to do with the fatty steak that you're eating. It is everything to do with the globs of sugar that you put into your body. That is crazy that it's giving some misinformation like that. Alzheimer's energy emerges not with memory loss, but with cellular changes in your 40s. Loss of independence arrives not with a fall, but with the first skipped workout in middle age. Oh, I kind of like that one. What we call aging is merely the visible harvest of seeds planted decades before. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. I want to see who that is. Oh, damn. So so that's a little bit dangerous of a post then, because it's claiming that this is a quote from the doctor here. Is that a real quote? There we go, searching the web. All right, little rat. Maybe I need to change up the initial prompt to get that type of thing, right? Although this is just for fine tuning actually, so the information does not matter. So that actually did work out fine. Because when you're fine tuning an LLM, you're not actually giving it information that it should be using. So it doesn't matter if it's all made up. What you're doing is providing it a personality and a tone and a structure, right? And so the information actually doesn't matter as much. So that would work out just fine. But I still don't really like it. Create a brief, impactful quote from... I kind of like the idea of creating brief, impactful quotes from historical figures, though. What do you guys think? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys think historical figure quotes would go well in Bill's arsenal. Or if we just have Bill make up his own historical quotes, like from him, not made up quotes, but like he comes up with his own quote. You see why this stuff takes so long though? You see why it takes such a long time to get things done? It's just a bunch of trial and error. Let's go to an AI XBT quote, because I feel like this one would go hard. Maybe not this one. Yeah. No, it's the same structure. You can see how both of these posts has the same structure, right? First line. Pulled 4.6 million USDC liquidity and bridged to ETH before sending to Coinbase. First line, Bitcoin. So it's a stat, right? He's using a current stat and then a second stat to follow it up. And then put sometimes a third one, I guess. But then deep into the post is when he tags someone with a large account. So it's probably how he's getting engagement from them, you know? Not gonna make it if you don't see what's happening. Team is pulling liquidity before massive unlock is exactly what you think it is. And then ending it on an aggressive stance. So that is easy to reverse engineer. Let's grab both of them. Open up a new chat. What's the goal? So when prompting, sorry, I was in my own zone there for a minute, just cleaning it up a little bit, making it look pretty. When prompting, first thing, you're trying to create a goal. So let's do reverse engineer the structural prompt for creating a post that mimics the two below. Focus on the format, comma, the substance of each line, and the hook both at the start and the end of the post. Okay. So I did a goal, right? Reverse engineer. So then I'm giving him the actual task at the end of that. Create a prompt that will reliably output X posts that are similar to these examples. Let's see how it does. Okay, this is an aggressive prompt. So I wouldn't want to use this prompt because it is so long. right? Because at the beginning of every time that Bill would go to post, he would get fed this. And this is a lot to have to hash through. You're using a lot of tokens in the initial system prompt every time. I gave 2 examples. I mean, it is working though, right? But let's see if you can make it more concise. Can you make this more concise? Oh, he's deleting. No, what if I wanted it? Now we take this. Let's go to ChatGPT for this one. Actually, no, let's not. Let's stay in Claude. Claude, for anyone who is curious, when OpenAI went to closed AI and they became a for-profit instead of a non-profit, most of the top engineers left and created Anthropic, and Claude is Anthropic's model. Can you generate some examples of posts using that prompt? There you go. That is good, right? So now we have a small snippet of fine-tuning data, right? And so you have an initial prompt and some example posts. In order to fine-tune a model, I now need to go generate between 100 to 300 of these examples. And then we feed it into OpenAI's model. And OpenAI will do the fine-tuning for us, right? Ask ChatGPT to create 100 examples using the structure, convert to JSON-L, and then fine-tune an OpenAI model 4.0 is a good one. Yeah, and then you can do the fine-tuning in OpenAI's platform back end, right? So if you guys are not familiar with it, let me pull it off just in case. Just in case there's any private information on here that I don't want you guys seeing. You are fine-tuning. OpenAI platform. Yeah. There we go. I don't know that I want to give you guys my screen of fine-tuning that I've been doing. But if you go to platform.openai.com/fine-tune, sign up for your account, you can go through and fine-tune the model. You just click on create. You go ahead and leave everything the same, pick your base model, and then upload the JSON-L file that you just created after going through the 100 examples, and then just let it fine tune. It'll run for like 20 to 30 minutes. You want to stay present for the first like 5 to 10 because that's when it's most likely to fail if something's not in the appropriate format. But yeah, that makes sense, hopefully. Let's see if it will just do it for me. I am fine. Remember, when prompting, we have an initial goal. You give it the goal so we can be on the same page. This is just a human, all right? Really think about these AI models as just humans that are there to help you. And so the problem is with a human, we have the knowledge and the memory to remember everything that is going on, right? And so if you have an assistant at work or a coworker, they're gonna know what the goal is already. But with these AI models, they don't. And so you have to give it the goal in the beginning almost every time you prompt it for something. So I'm fine tuning an X posting AI LLM. No, let's do AI model. I'm fine tuning an X posting AI model based off the posts that we made here. All right, so you give it the goal, right? And then you give it some context, which I did a little bit there. I could give it some more context, which I am going to right now. Use the concise prompt that you created and one of the example outputs from, all right, let's be more specific. And the output example, which one's the best? I like example 4. Yeah. And the output, example 4, to create 100 unique prompt and answer examples to use in OpenAI fine tuning for models. Make sure that each example is complete and unique, otherwise the fine-tuning training will reject the data. Dun, dun, dun. Eagle AI pumped good recently. I know, it went crazy. While it's doing that, let's go take a look at Eagle AI. Crazy. I mean, this is how it works though. This is how Eagle AI moves, right? You get that nice down trending movement, right? Down, down, down. As people just kind of like get out, and then all of a sudden they announce some crazy feature and it skyrockets. I mean, look at that. Skyrocketed by 2,000%. And then it skyrocketed by 600%. And then this one, we'll see how long this rally can sustain for, but it's up 117 so far. Back to all-time highs would be a total of 360, and then even higher, you get closer to like $1 perhaps. We get 600%. We'll see if it actually can do $1. Last time it rallied by about 650%. So if we assume that it's going to be a little bit smaller of a rally, then let's do 400%. It would bring us to 70 cents. But regardless, it looks like it's going to be pushing quickly up to new all-time high. So that's really cool. Really cool. How many of you guys have been hanging on to your Eagle AI? How many of you guys staked it? You know, the announcement that they did was the first batch of payments for having staked Eagle AI. And the payments are crazy good. Crazy good. Especially since the token is starting to pump, the payments are getting even better the higher the token price goes, right? So I think if you had 100,000 Eagle AI, which is like $30,000 locked up, you got $1,000. And it's even higher now. It's like 1,300 now. And that's monthly. That's monthly. And that in and of itself has the opportunity to grow as the hedge fund that's using them continues to grow on their profits, which is really, really cool, right? What is that dividend yield looking like? So that would be like a 40% yield yearly. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's actually a good tip. Give your task to start with. I think I do that without knowing it about half the time. I'll start doing it every time now. Thanks. Of course, C90. A lot of what I've been learning is prompt engineering, right? And so if I were to give kind of my best tips and practices right now for how to prompt AI, number one would be don't go right into it asking for the model to do something for you. What do I mean by that? Prime the model. right? Give it some context before asking for a task. So have a small conversation with the model, right? Be like, let's say I'm asking ChatGPT, how do I fine tune a model, right? Don't just say, what is the best practices for fine tuning a model? Say, can you explain to me what fine tuning is? And then it'll give you an output. And then say, what are some of the challenges that people have with fine tuning? And then it will give you an output for that. And then you say, what is the best, like, can you outline the best strategy for fine tuning a model for me? And then it will use the context that you generated in the conversation to answer it more intelligently, right? So have a conversation with the agent, with the model before you just ask it to do stuff. You can come in. You're good. That's gonna really enhance your response accuracy, is if you get it thinking about what it is that you're talking about before you just jump right into it. The second thing was always outline the goal, like I just said. Outline a clear goal. That way the agent's on the same page as you. I'm calling them agents, but they're just LLMs, right? That way the AI is on the same page as you. And then give it as much context as you can. Give as much context as you can. And then you want to ask for the task. And then you want to, if this applies, give it a specific output format. Another thing that you should pay attention to, and just a little extra added bonus tip here, because we're getting close to the end of the hour, but sorry. Each model only has X number of tokens that it can use per each prompt, okay? And so not crypto tokens, but tokens as in like each character representing a token. Now that's not exactly what it is, and I don't actually know what each token represents entirely, but I know that they have set number of tokens, and let's just say that you have 1,000 tokens. If you have a spelling mistake in your prompt, that's gonna use up 20 tokens. If you have and I'm making these numbers up, okay? Each model is completely different and I'm making this up, but the concept remains the same. If you don't ask clearly and it has to kind of jump to conclusions to assume what it is you're asking it, right? If you don't have a defined question or task for it, it's got to make something up. It's going to try and come up with what it is. So you might take 200 tokens away from your overall, right? And then it'll finally get to the task. But look at what you got. You only have 780 tokens left for that task. So it's not going to be able to give you as good of an answer, right? So there you go. Also, by priming it on number 1 here, it reduces hallucinations. So when you're asking for stuff, if you prime it and give it some information, maybe you give it a link. You already know of a source that it can use. You give it a link and you say, find me 3 more sources of information on this topic or something, right? It will go find stuff that's similar to it, and you're priming its memory. It's knowing better what it is you're going to talk about. I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant there, but I just want to help out because this is going to level up how you create with AI so much better. Plus, I was giving it time to finish. Claude hit its max length for messages and has paused its response. So, but here you go. Here is an example of what we got going on. Let's open it even bigger. So it created a numbered list of prompt and completion. So you got the prompt, create a crypto insider tweet, start, attention grabbing. So it used the same prompt for each one, and that's not what is going to help with fine tuning. So I'm going to have to go back in. I thought I was clear, but I wasn't clear enough. It has to be a unique prompt. I said create 100 unique prompt answer pairs, and these are unique prompt answer pairs, but I need to say using 100 unique prompts and 100 unique answers, because that's how you're going to fine tune it. But hopefully this was insightful. This is actually what I'm probably going to spend a good chunk of the rest of the day working on, is this fine tuning the language model, because we're at the point now that I need to ship. It's time. we're here, right? We're getting very, very, very antsy. I guess I'm speaking in third person here, but I'm getting very antsy. I want to deploy what I've been working on because it's exciting. And the market looks like it's starting to turn around a bit. It looks like, obviously, nobody knows for sure, but it does look like we're finding some support here. It is also rounding lower, but I don't think that really matters because, again, like I said yesterday, even if we do come down like this, right, and then skyrocket, I think that we're at the point where we are going to be getting that reversal here soon. Like, it's starting to show a lot of support. It's not that consistent downtrend anymore that we were seeing. So even if it takes a little bit more to kind of bottom like this or something, right, that's okay with me because that means that we're past the halfway point. We're at the spot where it's starting to bottom. And that's just Bitcoin. Ethereum, see, Ethereum's different, right? This is a good example. Ethereum's different. Ethereum has not found that support yet. Like it or not, I don't like it, but Ethereum has not yet found that support. Bill is clear winner play. Let's go, Beagle. Let's go. Algo looking kind of strong. No, let's go look at Algo. I hope it's looking strong. If Creator Bid does well, Algo does good. Or are you saying Algorand? You're probably saying Algorand. Let's go look at Algorand. I thought you meant Agent Algo. I mean, as strong as any of the other altcoins that just bleed against Bitcoin. No, it does. This is another one that's like, you can see Algo had the pump and then the sell off, but see how it's not selling off as quickly anymore? See how it's not selling off as quickly? So that is finding some support. Whether it does another low or not, we don't know, but it is finding support. So, hell yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, can I get some positive or negative feedback on this? Was this a live stream that was worth attending? Did you guys actually find value in spending your time here? I am very curious. I want to know because there's a lot of thought that goes into these live streams, the Friday ones, at least last Friday and this Friday. And so I want to know if it was worth continuing them. I am going to for now, but I just want to hear that feedback if you guys don't mind. Please. ETH is on its way home, according to Ben Cohen. Always looking to return home. I know. According to Ben Cohen. My ass. We're home, motherfucker. We're home. We're in the home. He's saying home is the bottom of this box. Which would be another 10% fall to Bitcoin. Look at this. Look at this though. Think about this for a minute. How violent of a sell-off does it need to be? Is ETH really just gone? Is ETH really just dead? Look at that. Look at how violent. Home is where you make it. Hell yeah, boy. Hell yeah. I'm going to leave this Sol Bitcoin chart prediction here because it looks like it's tracking so far. It looks like it's tracking so far. So I kind of like it. Let's see if it holds true. And then let's do ETH Sol. Damn, ETH divided by Sol. So this is ETH as measured by the price of Solana. Okay, that makes sense. I know that makes sense to you. So it's saying that Solana is outperforming ETH. So if you're invested in ETH or Solana, it looks like Solana is the winner here. Let's invert the scale to get Sol divided by ETH and see that Sol continues to just climb on ETH here, at least for the perpetual. That's all right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what you guys said, actually. Damn. Everyone do a wellness check on Steve the Canadian. He said, to be real, I don't find value in many things anymore. It's not you, Patrick. It's me. Steve the Canadian. Let's do, everyone check in on Steve the Canadian over the weekend. He needs some help. He needs some milk. 8 out of 10. Okay, I'll take it. Happy to see you working on our bags. All right, bullish. Let's go. Working hard. Home is where you make it. Once ETH AC actually gives value for the utility, then it might come back. Everyone's been so bullish on ETH until they had the first run and saw how money extraction driven they are. Everything is so money extraction driven. What is this? Oh, I inverted the scale. I mean, when you look at it like this looks really good. When you look at Bitcoin like this, I'm very hopeful. You know? That looks really good. I know. I agree, Beagle. Look at this. On the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, this looks really strong. It's inverted, right? And so it looks like it got rejected here pretty aggressively. And so hopefully that is true and stays true and starts selling off again, aka coming back higher. I want to see ETH upside down. I imagine if we just look at this inverted, sometimes it helps to remove the bias. It is peaking here a little bit, right? I imagine it will put in a lower low. So it's probably not going to go all the way to here. I do see it potentially going all the way to here, but it looks like it's going to reverse quickly. It looks like it would be one of those quick pump and dumps. But then it is creating that wedge. You know, it didn't quite break below. So maybe this is the reversal. Maybe it comes back down, gets rejected by the 200 moving here. Either way, okay, all right, I'm getting distracted from it. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing into. Appreciate all of you guys being here with me. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter. I will see everyone on Monday. Peace out, guys.